Hey everyone, I'm back in another video. Today I'll be doing a review on a new knife that I just got today. This is March 31st. This is the Ambidextrous from Spyderco. So just a normal Spyderco. Of course, I have the knife already out. Comes with this plastic, has the tiny sticker instead of the big one, and then a little foam pad, and then some just warranty stuff inside the box, just the typical packaging stuff from Spyderco. Put all that back in there. So I got this knife unexpectedly. My birthday's in a few days, and my classmate knows I am into knives, and he is a Spyderco fan, so he picked me up a Spyderco Ambidextrous. It was on sale, so it didn't cost him a lot, which it doesn't really matter how much he paid for it, but it's pretty cool that he got me a brand new Spyderco. These are the Ambidextrous, and these are made in China, but for what it is, it came razor sharp out of the box. You can see that little engraving there. I think this is from Eric Glesser, one of the co-founders or the founder of Spyderco. Of course, you can see the bug there, and the steel is 8CR 13 MOV, which is just kind of the standard Chinese production steel that a lot of more premium Chinese knives are made out of. Of course, these are 3 or 4 position pocket clip areas, and it comes tip down pocket clip. So before I even start this review, let me do one thing. I'll be right back. All right, that is much better. I swapped the clip to tip up, which is the objectively correct way to carry your knives when you have the option. So let's get into this review. Of course, you can reverse slick it awesomely. Great action, very smooth with the Linerlock in there. Very easy to manipulate one-handed. Of course, you don't want to cut yourself like I just did. But you can just manipulate it very nicely. Make sure your thumb's out of the way, or that'll happen to you. So that is the Ambidextrous. Of course, 8CR 13 MOV is a stainless, pretty tough, pretty hard steel. Just a Chinese special. Right there you can see these are made in China. That doesn't make them any less a Spyderco. Just more budget friendly. These have a 2 1/4 inch blade with a 2 1/2 or 2 1/4 inch cutting edge. Of course, there is no sharpening bevel or sharpening choil on these. Most Spydercos do not. Open length is 5.83 or 5.8 inches. And the handle length closed is 3.53 inches, and these are 3.3 ounces, so kind of heavy. That's due to the steel liners inside of it, of course. What else do you need to know about this Ambidextrous? That's kind of it. Of course, flat grind on this leaf-shaped blade. Has some nice jimping up here. Allows you to get a very good grip on these and really dig into any cuts you need. Of course, you can just pinch it here, wrap your fingers around, pinch it here, and you can do draw cuts very nicely. And then I did have some more to compare. Spyderco's first. Of course, the Para 3 is going to be a lot bigger than this knife. There you can see those next to one another. So a lot shorter on the cutting edge and blade length, and a lot shorter on the handle length. Another knife is the Delica 4. You can see the length on that. Delica 4 is actually a little longer in handle length than the Para 3, but the blade length is longer on the Para 3. So you can see all of these together. much longer with the Delica, kind of in the middle of blade shape between the Para 3 and Delica. And then what knife I have that's pretty much the closest to it is the Benchmade Full Immunity. Of course, this one's automatic, but very similar in size. Handle length is going to be longer, but blade length is pretty much very similar. You can see here, of course, there's that finger choil or sharpening choil there. So cutting edge to cutting edge, or let's do pivot to pivot. I do need to do cutting edge to cutting edge. The Ambidextrous is going to be a longer cutting edge, but the blade length is, well, I think the Ambidextrous is actually a bigger blade. And then handle length, the Ambidextrous is bigger. It's also taller in the hand, and then also carry profile. The Benchmade is going to wear slimmer. You can see that the Spydercos are normally a lot taller. Of course, everybody knows Para 3 and Para 2 are a very tall knives in the pocket. You can see that. So that is the Ambidextrous. Nice Spyderco. I think this would be a very good beginner Spyderco. Right now, at least on Blade HQ, they are $45.75. So they're normally $61. So pretty good deal right now. $40 for a very well built smaller Spyderco. This is really all people need nowadays. They don't need a big full-size knife. They just need something easy to carry. And this kind of fits the part, the Spyderco Ambidextrous. So thank you, sir, for giving me this knife. And I hope y'all enjoyed this video. Make sure y'all like and subscribe. And I will see y'all on the next one. Bye.